Los Alamos, New Mexico, 1944. In the middle of the high desert, the United States Army has built a secret city. It does not exist on any map. Here, the greatest minds in human history, Oppenheimer, Fermi, Bohr, are gathered for a single purpose: to build a weapon that will end the war. But sitting in the corner of the laboratory is an 18-year-old kid named Ted Hall. This teenager has just decided to do the unthinkable. He walks out of the most secure facility on Earth, carrying the blueprints for the apocalypse in his backpack, looking for a way to send them to Soviet Union. You see, Ted Hall isn't just smart, he's a genius. He enters Harvard University at age 16. By 18, he is bored. He is studying physics at a level that most professors don't even understand. In 1943, the US military approaches him. They don't tell him what the job is, they just tell him it's important, it's dangerous, and it's in the middle of nowhere. Ted says yes. He's shipped to Los Alamos, becoming the youngest scientist on the Manhattan Project, and he's immediately put to work on the implosion problem, the trigger mechanism for the plutonium bomb. See, the uranium bomb was comparatively easy. It used a gun-type design. You literally just fired one piece of fuel into another like a bullet. But plutonium was different. It was too hot, too radioactive. The only way to make plutonium work was a theoretical nightmare: implosion. Imagine a soccer ball made of high explosives with a plutonium core at the center. To get a blast, you had to detonate every single one of those outer explosives at the exact same microsecond. You needed a perfect symmetrical squeeze to crush that metal inward until it reached critical mass. It wasn't just physics anymore, it was a race for absolute precision. But as Ted watches the weapon take shape, he stops seeing it as a tool for peace. He starts seeing it as a tool for domination. He looks at the American government, a government that is currently segregating its own army, and he asks himself a dangerous question. Should any one country have the power to destroy the world? Ted decides that an American monopoly on the bomb is a recipe for a new kind of fascism. He believes the only way to keep the world safe is to level the playing field. He needs to get the secrets to the Soviets. October 1944. Ted requests a leave of absence for his 19th birthday. He takes a train from New Mexico to New York City. Inside a box in his luggage are the specifications for the implosion bomb. He walks straight into the Soviet consulate in New York. He just walks in and tells a stunned KGB officer, "I have the atomic bomb." The Soviets are skeptical. They think it's a trap. But when they look at the math, they realize this kid isn't lying. They give him a code name, MLAD, Russian for the youngster. Ted hands over the documents. He refuses payment. He isn't doing this for money. He gets back on the train, goes back to Los Alamos, and continues building the bomb for the Americans, while the Soviets start building a copy. The war ends. America drops the bomb on Japan. But back in Washington, the FBI is panic-stricken. US intelligence has begun decoding intercepted Soviet cables. It's a top-secret program called Venona, and in these cables, they find a ghost. They see communications from 1944 describing the atomic bomb in perfect detail. They know there was a spy at Los Alamos. They see the code name MLAD. The FBI profiles the suspect. They know MLAD means youngster. They look for the youngest scientist at the lab. The list is short. By 1950, the FBI is almost certain that MLAD is Ted Hall. They start following him. They tap his phone, they open his mail, and then they bring him in. The FBI interrogation of Ted Hall is intense. They grill him for hours. They tell him they know everything. They tell him his friends have already confessed. They threaten him with the electric chair, the same fate that awaited the Rosenbergs, other atomic spies caught around the same time. But Ted does nothing. He doesn't crack. He doesn't confess. He stares them down. He knows something the FBI doesn't want to admit. The FBI has a problem. Their only proof is the Venona cables. But Venona is a secret. If they use the cables in court to prosecute Ted, they have to reveal to the Soviets that they have cracked their code. It is a stalemate. They know he did it. He knows they know. But they cannot touch him without compromising American intelligence. So they let him go. Ted Hall moved to England. He became a respected biophysicist. It wasn't until 1995, just a few years before his death, that the Venona cables were declassified and the world learned the truth. Ted Hall maintained until his dying day that he saved the world. He argued that if America had been the sole nuclear power, they would have become a bully. That mutually assured destruction kept the peace. We will never know if he was right, But we do know this: an 18-year-old boy, armed with nothing but a backpack and a conscience, single-handedly ended the American monopoly on the ultimate weapon, and he got away with it.